Hey, y'all, I'm Shane Sams, host of the Flip Lifestyle Podcast. Super excited to be back with you again this week to help you start, build, launch, and grow a successful online business. Now, normally I have a guest on the show from the Flip Lifestyle community, somebody, a member of our community, and we help them take their business to the next level. But in a rare occurrence here, I have a special guest on the program today. He is my good friend, John Lee Dumas, from Entrepreneurs on Fire. Now, John is about to release a new book called The Common Path to Uncommon Success. And I don't always have guests on the Flip Lifestyle Podcast. We don't always bring people on. But John sent me an advance copy of the book. And I really think this is a great book for all people who are starting out in online business, in business, anything at all in the modern world. On today's show, I'm going to talk to John about everything in the book. We're going to go through each chapter and talk about the exact layout that anybody needs to start, build, and grow a successful business. We're going to talk about the power of content and how John built his multi-million-dollar brand all on the back of his podcast. We're going to talk about how you can find great mentors and masterminds so you can learn from the best and surround yourself with great people who will hold you accountable. I know you're going to love my conversation with John Lee Dumas. So in honor of him, let's ignite and get it started, baby. Welcome to the Flip Lifestyle Podcast, where life always comes before work. We're your hosts, Shane and Jocelyn Sams. We're a real family that figured out how to make our entire living online. And now we help other families do the same. Are you ready to flip your life? All right, let's get started. 3, 2, 1. JLD, my brother, what is up, man?
You know, I am so on fire. I mean, I just love that picture of that lovely state right behind you. I'm here in a Commonwealth territory called Puerto Rico, but we're basically in the same room and we are both on fire.
That's right, man. We are always on fire. I was actually thinking about this morning. I told Jocelyn, I said, me and John, since like 2015, have recorded like 6 podcasts together, either on his show or ours. We're catching up to Harry Potter. Like we've got so many sequels. We're gonna start looking like Marvel movies around here, man. So it's pretty awesome, dude. Love talking to you, man. It's awesome stuff. Before we get started, I want to congratulate you and Kate on the engagement. That's pretty amazing.
I put a ring on that finger. Ring on that finger, bro.
Dude, that's a good choice because you have definitely, in football terms, you outkicked your coverage, kind of like I did, right? So congratulations on that, man. And I'm really pumped to talk to you today about your new book because I spent a lot of time with it this week. And I told Jocelyn this morning, and when I read through the book, the Common Path to Uncommon Success, it reminded me of when I first read Michael Hyatt's Platform back before I started my online business. And that book was so influential in our life. And I think that you have kind of written, dude, like the new modern version of Platform that's going to take some people's business like acceleration to the next level. And it really did blow my mind, man, reading through it. So it's awesome,
brother,
dude.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that compliment. I mean, Michael Hyatt's a person that puts out epic content over and over again. I want to take it to the next level, though. This right here, brother, this is the modern day Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah,
this
man.
is the book that Napoleon Hill would have written had he been able to interview 3,000 successful entrepreneurs instead of 30. You know, he did an amazing job back in the 20s traveling around to all these different entrepreneurs, interviewing them. I've been able to, thanks to the power of the internet, interview over 3,000 successful entrepreneurs, take their genius. This is not my genius. This is your genius. This is the other 2,999 entrepreneurs that I've interviewed genius, all put into this book. So that's why I'm so proud of getting it out to the world, because it's your genius in a 17-step format.
That dude, I actually printed out. This is no joke. I'm holding this up if you're watching on YouTube. I printed out the table of contents as a reminder to myself to because I teach people how to start membership businesses, right?
Right.
But I actually printed this out and I was like, this is a good checklist for even me who's been in business for 8 years. I'm going to go back through our blueprint and be like, hey, am I hitting all these steps that we're going to talk about today? And, I'm not going to blow too much smoke up your rear end here, buddy, but I'm telling you, this is a good job, dude. You did a really good job.
Like I said, I mean, I'm deflecting the smoke anyways, because it's just me, being a mentee to all of these 3,000 successful entrepreneurs and then just downloading it and taking the time to write the book. So this did not come from my head. This came from your head. This came from Michael Hyatt's head, from Tim Ferriss, from Gary Vaynerchuk, from Neil Patel, from all the unbelievable people that I've been able to interview over the past decade. And that table of contents, brother, you've got it completely right. So just real quick, when you're going through this book, you do start at step 1, chapter 1, and you do finish at step 17, chapter 17, because each step, each chapter, 3 things are going to happen. Number 1, you're going to be like, okay, I just verified that I crushed this step. Awesome. Now I know, let's move on. What more likely is going to happen for most people is they're like, okay, I found 2 or 3 or 4 things I need to tweak and adjust to really crush this step. And now I'm going to move on. And then for some people, it's going to be like, okay, we got to wipe the slate clean because I've been doing this all wrong. Now let's get it right for the first time and move forward. That's how you crush this book.
Yeah, man, it's awesome stuff. So let's back up a little bit, because I was lucky enough to see it early. I've got all my pre-orders and stuff ready, and I can't wait to get it. But tell me about the name, because I thought it was really interesting how you addressed this, like in the very beginning of the book, the common path to uncommon success. Like, why'd you name it that?
There are fantastic experts out there in this world. I'm talking to one right now. What you do teaching people to grow membership sites is fantastic. It's outstanding. You are an entrepreneur on fire. That's why you've been a repeat guest on my show multiple times. But there are also some, what I like to call so-called experts out there in the world, who will say, listen, the path to uncommon success, it's not common, it's complicated, it's hidden, it's secrets. But for $1,997.97, I can give you the key and reveal all. And these individuals don't want you to know that there are really true foundational core principles that I followed, that Shane's followed, that all the successful entrepreneurs that I've interviewed over the past decade have followed. And they are very simple, core foundational principles. And there's 17 of them, and they're right there in the table of contents. It's step 1 to step 17. I put them in chronological order. I created for you a revolutionary roadmap to financial freedom and fulfillment. And so that's where the title comes from, brother, because I want people to know that it's not a complicated path. It's not a hidden or secret path. It's a common path, a very common path that we've all trod upon, we being successful entrepreneurs, to our version of uncommon success. Now, I want to be very clear on this as well, Shane. You'll vouch for this, I know, because I know your work ethic. Listen, common does not mean easy. It is hard flipping work. And I'm going to use flipping a few times for you, brother. It is hard flipping work to become uncommonly successful. It is hard work to build your dream business. Back in 2012, brother, I decided to choose to really work hard to build my dream business. But you know what also is hard? Being broke. Living paycheck to paycheck, waking up every morning, doing what you have to do just to skimp by instead of what you want to do, looking yourself in the mirror, or in some cases, some people avoiding looking themselves in the mirror because they're disappointed in how underachieving they are in this world. And brother, I'm speaking to myself right now. That was the first 32 years of my life. I went through 6 years where I was underachieving, where I was broke, where I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I was unhappy. I was unfulfilled. That was hard, bro. That was hard, those 6 years. Building a business, your dream business, is hard too. So what did I do in 2012? I chose my hard. I chose this hard path. Either path I chose, Shane, was going to be a hard path. I chose the hard path of building my dream business, of creating financial freedom and fulfillment. And now I have literally the life that I want. I have my version of uncommon success, which is different for your version, which is different for person X, Y, and Z's version, which we get you to, because a lot of people have never even done that. They've never even identified what their version of uncommon success looks like, which we can get to later. But I want to end this by saying, it's time to choose your hard.
When I was looking through this, I read that part in the book where you were talking about, like, people, I got the secrets. It's on the other side of this 47-minute webinar. And it's the secret, man. It's just what they're hiding from you. And it's so easy once you get to the other side. But like, why do you think, because I love this. The reason I love the table of contents I printed out is because, like, we think like that. We think, like, in our blueprint, we think, you got to do these 5 things, guys. If you don't do it, it's not going to work. And it sucks. I'm not going to lie. It's just some of these things, you pick up a shovel, you dig a hole. I mean, that's what you do. And like, I was reading that, I was seeing that, but why do you think so many other experts out there do that? Here's just this one secret, this one little thing, and I'm going to reveal it at minute 42 on slide 73. And then you're going to give me $2,000 to really get the other half of the sentence. Like, why do you think that so much of that, like is out there, like the fakeness of the expert world that we're talking about here. What do you mean?
It's a mindset of scarcity, brother. There's so much scarcity that's out there in this world, and it will always exist. And you can get drawn into it if you let yourself get caught up of that. Hey, there's only a certain size of the pie. And if John takes a big piece of the pie, there's less left over for everybody. That's a mindset of scarcity. So this is like this land grab. It's scarcity. It's threatening you. It's, making you feel like you're going to be missing out on this one opportunity. Or there's a world that you live in, which is where I live and almost everybody that I engage with lives. And that's a mindset of abundance. And that's realizing that when you provide amazing value in this world, when you decide that I'm going to be the best solution to a real problem in this world, I will win, you will win, we will all win. And it really comes down to just who are you going to surround yourself with? Like, who are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? Because back in 2012, bro, my average sucked. Like, it was a very underwhelming, unimpressive average. And I realized it had to change. They weren't bad people, but they were uninspiring. They were Debbie Downers. They were Don Doolittles. And I launched this podcast to fix that, to surround myself with the right people, to interview you and all the other amazing entrepreneurs. Cause like right now, you and I are spending time together, man. And I'm better for it. My average is going up as a result. And that's the world that I live in now, is a mindset of abundance and doing great things for great people in this world.
Yeah, man. I find it. I always go back to the Dave Ramsey example of the closed hand. He says this all the time on his podcast, man. It's like, I think that the expert industry in particular, and I don't even like to call it that. It's more just like the people trying to teach other people how to do what they've already done. Right. The life. It's like they come in and a lot of people get to a level and they close their fist and they don't want to let too much out because they might lose it all. Right. But then they don't ever grow and they don't ever help anybody. And they trick themselves into thinking that there's a secret to this when no, it's big ideas, discover your niche, create your avatar, choose your platform, find your mentor. Like there's a process and you don't get to have a monopoly on that process. You just have to go out and find your particular place in the world where you kind of fit in. It's why we picked memberships. It's just based on our why. Like we want to help a certain group of people do a certain thing to get to a place. And that's our niche, but like the pie is so big, you could never eat it all yourself. Why would you even want to try to do that? You'll just get sick and throw it all up. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. And I worry about people. I think the whole world has changed because of COVID and things like that. And online business is about to blow up and entrepreneurship is to the forefront because people are at home. But I worry that these experts you're talking about are painting a picture, because along with the I've got the secret to success is the picture of this is the only thing that success can look like. My car, my house, my thing. And that's what I'm selling you. But really, most people, they don't really want to achieve that thing. They get fed this, that they're supposed to achieve that. But what would you say would be a good, how can I say this? What would uncommon success look like? Like, what do people really want to achieve? And why is that important to understand that before they jump into like your book?
Fantastic question. So listen, just want to start off by saying this. So few people have even sat down to identify what their version of uncommon success looks like. Mm-hmm. You'll ask them, hey, like, what is it that you really want in this world? What is really being uncommonly successful? What does that look like to you? What does that mean to you? And they'll think and they'll look up in the sky and they'll say, well, I guess it means making more money. Well, if it's making more money, then it's always more money because it's never enough. If you start making 1 million a year or $100,000 a year, you want to make 500, you want to make $1 million, you want to make $1 million, you want to make 10 to 20, and it's always more. What is enough? Like, what is enough for you? That's what uncommon success really is. It's being able to identify what is enough and really knowing these 3 core things that you're able to wake up every morning doing what you want to do, where you want to do it, with whom you want to do it with. And like you kind of joked at the beginning of the episode, which was true, that you and I both outkicked our coverage for sure. And we get to do those 3 things. We get to wake up in the morning and we get to do what we want to do, where we want to do it, with whom we want to do it with. What else is there at the core of who you are as a human? Like we're talking 6 layers down. Like that's just the commonality that everybody wants. And going back up to the surface real quick, we all at the surface want different things. Some people like to fish or hunt or play golf or sing or, play sports or whatever it is. There's all different things that we want to do that we love doing because we're different people. We're unique. We're snowflakes. And that's amazing. And that's exciting about being a human being. But every human being still with all of that is going to boil it down and say, what at the core is uncommon success to me? What does that actually look like day in and day out? And for me, Shane, one of these things, and this is again, for me personally, just to kind of give a glimpse, was I want to work 5 days per month. 5 days per month to me is uncommon success. That was unattainable when I launched my business. I had to grind and bust my butt for years in that season 1 of my business to get to where I needed to be. And then I entered season 2, and then I was still working hard, but I was able to balance some more things, build a team. And now I've entered a 3rd season of my business where I'm like, I have enough. I have enough revenue coming in. I have enough money in the bank. I have the house that I want, the location that I want, the friends that I want, the partner that I want. Kate, who, as you mentioned, I proposed to on December 25th of 2020. Like, I've identified my version of uncommon success in this current season of my life. And now I'm there and I'm living that 5 days a month. I'm working hard, and I'm working hard 5 days a month, like real hard. I showed Shane my schedule before on what
always ridiculous. Always ridiculous when you show me your schedule for.
By the way, I'm in book launch promo mode now, so I'm working hard 30 days a month now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, gotta have those sprints, man. You know what
this
I mean?
Is my sprints for sure, because this is my book. This is my passion. I need to get this out to the world. But come April 1st, I'm back to my schedule. 5 hard days a month and 25 days of working a little bit here, a little bit there, but overall, like just doing what I want to be doing, because I found my version of uncommon success. I want to get you there. I want to get you to your version of uncommon success, and this book will do that.
Yeah, man. I love that. Something I caught there too was seasons, because I remember when Joss and I first I remember the moment we first realized that anything was possible online, and it was because it was when we started making more money than we did as school teachers. Oh. And I remember going out to dinner and saying, well, what would a great life look like for us if we were full-time doing this? And we wrote it down, right? And when we got there, but then you realize there's other things, and a new season came on, and we did it again, and we well, what does the next season look like with impact and this and that and the other? And I love that, viewing it like seasons, because people who need this book, you're always looking at season 5 of the great sitcom, and you're in season 1, and you've got to really go internal, and you got to say, what does my next season look like, and what final season do I want to get to? Right? They plan the Marvel movies 10 years in advance. That's fine. You can do that, but you still got to film Captain America, right? You know what I'm saying? You still got to make the movies, right? And people want to skip. They want to skip to an Endgame, man. And that's what I think a book like this, especially the way you've written it, is cool, because it's don't skip the steps. Let's take one chapter at a time. Let's do one piece at a time, and let's figure out what season you're in, and figure out what season you want to get to when you get to chapter 17, and then just follow the book, follow the plan, follow the chapters, and doing that.
So I've got a superhero name for you now, after just talking for the last 15 minutes. You are Captain Analogy.
I'm Captain Analogy. I live and die by the analogies, man. Me and my brother, we play. He lives up in Cincinnati, and the only way we get to hang out is to play Xbox. So we play Xbox once a week, and we sit and we debate. But the whole time we're doing it, we're debating philosophy. And by the end of it, we're both using so many analogies. I'm like, well, I'm kind of like a spaghetti plate, and you're kind of like a pie. And then if we put in a spoon, it's so ridiculous. We're we need to go to bed. We're done with analogies
bedtime.
Today. Yeah, bedtime. All right, I want to focus on a couple chapters here that I thought were really, really the sequence is definitely amazing. Yeah. 2 things really stood out to me, because I know how much this impacted my life going through the journey that we've been on. Let me see, what chapter was it? Let me look here. Here we go. All right. Chapter 5 was really impactful, because it said, it's all about finding your mentors. And I think that so many people these days are just I got this, I'm going it alone and whatever. But I know that nothing I have achieved would have been done without mentorship, right? So why do you think mentors are so important? Because you put it really early, okay, fine, you got your niche, you got your avatar, you got your platform. You better find a mentor right now. Why do you think that's so significant that people early in their journey choose proper mentors and then follow those railroad tracks that they've laid for them.
So you nailed it. You have to go through this book sequentially.
Yeah.
You can't find your mentor before this, step 1 through 4, because you don't know who you're looking for.
That's right.
And if you wait to, a further step to find your mentor, you will miss so many opportunities and do so many things wrong in steps 6, 7, and 8 that your mentor is there to guide you upon. So real quick, that's why find your mentor is step 5, chapter 5. Guys, this is intentional. It took me 480 hours to write this book. If you think that any one of these steps is casually or haphazardly placed, you would be really incorrect. These are so intentional. So much time, energy, and effort was to perfect this roadmap. Just don't question it. Believe me, I'm sitting here a decade into running a multi-million-dollar a year empire. 91 months in a row, we've had a net profit of over $100,000. We publish it on our income reports every month for 91 straight months. At some point, you've just got to look at people who have been there, who have done that. And for me, again, who have learned from so many people as well, and just say, okay, listen, they're obviously doing something right. Success leaves clues. So don't question the roadmap. And step 5, chapter 5, find your mentor. There's one simple phrase that will sum up this entire chapter, but listen, there's so much into it. And I teach you the copy to use when you reach out to your mentor, how you actually identify the perfect person, then how you work with them when you have them. But in one simple phrase, your mentor is somebody who is currently where you want to be. If you remember that, you will find the right mentor. Your mentor is somebody who is currently where you want to be. Guess what I wanted to be back in 2012? A successful business podcast host. I made a short list of successful business podcast hosts. And then I used this formula that I share in the chapter, step 5, on how I reached out to the mentors the right way and how I was able to lock in my number one choice, Jamie Masters of The Eventual Millionaire. And that changed everything, because then going forward, step 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and beyond, I had the guidance, the support, the experience of my mentor on my side. And it was like pressing the fast forward button. It's like a cheat code that allows you to read off of your mentor's test scores. Because guess what? You're not in a classroom taking a test. This isn't actual cheating. This is you being able to learn from their mistakes, learn the correct answers that they had to probably earn from failures. It's so key, brother.
Yeah, man. I have adopted this so much. Even this has been important to us at every phase of our journey.
Every phase.
And I've gotten to the point, and I'm not telling anybody. Again, do what we did. Don't do what we do, y'all. If you ain't got no money and you can't hire nobody, you got to figure out another way to get a mentor. Okay. But like we're getting ready to launch this new program in our community called Flip Lifestyle Life Groups, where we are going to facilitate and lead mastermind small groups, almost like Sunday school at church, for our community. But when I decided that this was the next level for our community, I'm not going to sit there and guess and figure it out. I called Aaron Walker and I paid him to coach me, and because he runs mastermind programs. And I said, dude, give me the railroad track. I'll follow the railroad track. We might put an extra track on to the right every once in a while if we want, if it meets our needs.
Of course.
But I paid him last month. This month we know what to do. Next month we are implementing. And, even back in the beginning, I talked about platform. I remember when we were building our business, I didn't know what to do. So I couldn't hire Michael Hyatt, but I could get a mentor. I could at least get his book. Right. But I love how this book is like, no, go out and reach out. You'd be surprised how many people will help you if you do X, Y, and Z, and you can actually have all the mentors that you need in your life. And also they don't need to be like the end game forever, but they could be the next level. And you just reach out to them and go get them. And they just save so much time and energy, guys. It's just so much time and energy.
Game changer.
Yeah, man. Now, let's talk about this. The next chapter, ironically enough, is about masterminds. Join or create a mastermind. Now, this is different. I think some people think when they hear the word mastermind, they're like, well, how do I get in a mastermind with John Lee Dumas and Jamie Masters and Shane and everybody? Like, no, that's not the same thing. That's mentors, right? Like, those are people who've been there and done that. But why is mastermind the next step? Like, what are you doing to create a mastermind? Who are you putting in your mastermind? Like, what do you mean by that? And why is that also early in the journey?
Listen, accountability is everything. When you have people that like, trust, and respect holding you accountable, it changes the game.
Mm.
There have been so many entrepreneurs who have tried to go at this alone, and they have just slunk off into a corner of fear and doubts, and they have died a slow entrepreneurial death there because they have nobody holding them accountable. And so they're able to go and hide. And frankly, just nobody really cares because it's like, you're not doing anything. We're busy. We're doing our own thing. You have to have an accountability group. People that are holding your feet to the fire, people who like, trust, care about, respect, and who will hold your feet to the fire, who are going to support and guide you, and you do the same to them. It changes everything. And I cannot say that sentence enough. It changes not just some things, it changes everything of what you do. And there's a very specific way to run a master or to be part of a mastermind the right way. And to be honest with you, every single person does it wrong. Everybody does it wrong. Everybody runs their mastermind the wrong way. There's one right way to do it, which I outline, of course, in step 6, chapter 6, which is joining or creating a mastermind. One way to do it. And just to give you some specifics on it right now, your mastermind will consist of either a total of 3 or 4 people. No less, no more, period. It's going to be your peers, people that are in your industry or similar industries. And if they're in different industries, that gives some good outside perspective as well. But you have to do a few things. You have to know, like, and trust these people. You have to respect them. And there has to be either a total of 3 or at most 4 individuals in your mastermind. Again, no more, no less. And when you're meeting at minimum 1 day every single week with an absolute strict attendance policy. If you can't have people in this mastermind that are there literally 19 times out of 20 weeks, they are not the right fit for this. You need almost a near 100% attendance policy. And what's going to happen on that mastermind call, I won't get into the nitty-gritty details, I have a whole thing listed out, is one person is going to rotate on the hot seats every single call. And during that 45-minute session, because these masterminds should be at least 1 hour long, during that 45-minute hot seat, you are sharing, whoever's on the hot seat is sharing their biggest struggle and their ask of those other members in the masterminds. And then the conversation is going to revolve around that for the entire time. There's other things that happen at the beginning. There's a few wrap-up things that happen at the end. But the main meat of it is that the person on the hot seat is delivering their biggest struggle to the group and asking for a specific support or questions on that. And just to give a little background, I give a lot more background, of course, in the book, in the chapter, but the reason why it's capped at 4 people is that you have to be in the hot seat at least once a month. If you're not in the hot seat at least once a month, you're not being on the hot seat often enough. So these people that have 8-person masterminds, 10-person masterminds, they're on the hot seat once every 3 or 4 months. That's just not enough. And there's too much going on there with all the people in the masterminds. Attendance is going to suffer. It's 3 people or 4 people. Again, if you're going to be on the hot seat every 3 weeks or every 4 weeks, that's where the sweet spot is. So I'm giving you a little flexibility, but not much. I was in a 3-person total mastermind for years. We met every single week. And because we did it the right way, it was unbelievably valuable for all 3 of us. But again, the problem is everybody does it wrong, and it turns into a waste of time.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's either going to be a waste of time or you follow the system and you do it the right way.
Yeah, man. I know I'm in a group with 4 or 3 other guys, and we do trips every year, and we'll like rotate in a couple of guys just on the trip. You know what I mean? So that gives you that outside things a couple times a year, but you got your core guys. And I was like, what I learned about this mastermind compared to any of the other ones I did wrong in the beginning was, oh crap, I respect these guys so much. I can't let them down.
Can't let them down.
You can't let them down, man. These are great fathers, great husbands, great business owners. And I know they're doing their thing. And if I wake up and I'm not doing my thing, I got to tell them that next week.
And they will not let you. It doesn't matter the excuse.
No mercy. No mercy.
No mercy.
If you haven't been told to shut your mouth in a mastermind group, you're probably not close enough.
You're the wrong mastermind.
You're in the wrong mastermind, man. You need some people to be like, shut up, leave your bull crap at the door.
No crap.
No crap like that, man.
If you haven't been called a coward in your mastermind,
100%,
you're
100%. Like, you sound scared. You sound scared right now, son. You need to get out of here. And I don't know. I also, after the pandemic last year, especially those first 3 months. Everything online business kind of like, okay, we got this, right? But I don't know how people did it. If you don't have a mastermind group and you don't have a group of people that you trust, respect, and you're not texting each other every day with what's really on your mind, or maybe a little gallows humor or something.
Gallows humor.
I don't know how people did it. I don't know how they made it through the pandemic. So
I don't get it.
Yeah,
don't get it, brother.
So one thing, I'm going to use your book, and we're going to evaluate how we run our mastermind program. And I'm going to use some of those tips from OJLD's book, man. Now, another part that really, really interested me in the book, you know, my catchphrase is, people always ask me like, well, how do you build a business? I'm like, you got to CPR, baby. Consistent, prolific, relentless. You got to breathe life into that business with those 3 things. And whenever I have an example of what's prolific mean? I'm like, well, let me tell you about my buddy John, because that dude recorded 9,477 podcasts in 24 months, and right, you know, and so always prolific. But behind the prolificness is content creation, and you got a great book. The chapter on content is awesome. Why do you think content is such a linchpin in today's business world? Like, I don't know how anyone could have it. People come to us all the time like, do I have to create content? I'm like, yes. Like, you can't even have a gas station anymore without social media content, right? Like, so why is that in this book? Because I think that's one of those places where it's kind of an update over a Think and Grow Rich, over another business. It's all content. Why is that the linchpin? You actually call it the kingdom is your content. I love that, dude. I'm stealing that. I'll give you, you said this to me once. I'll give you credit twice, then it's mine. But the kingdom is the content. Why is that so important when you're starting a business right now?
Let me just sum it up for you in one sentence, and then we'll dive deeper. Content is the kingdom. That's it. I'm just going to say just what Shane said, because it is so true. And there's a reason why Shane's so successful. Like, he, of 17 steps, was able to identify 2 unbelievably important ones. They're all important for what they are, but specifically this one, brother, step 7, chapter 7, designing your content production plan. I'm really proud of you for picking this one out, because look at this book right here, 71,000 words. The average chapter, 3,550 words. Pretty average size chapters overall. Chapter 7, step 7, 13,500 words.
Oh, wow.
That step could be a business book in and of itself. It is by far the most prolific chapter of all 17 steps. And if you were to ask me what is the most important and favorite chapter of this book, I wouldn't hesitate. It would be step 7, chapter 7, designing your content production plan. Because, brother, after I finished writing that step, I literally, I stepped back from the keyboard, and I was like, oh my God, that's 13,500 words. I've been writing this chapter for weeks. And I knew that our content production plan was a reason why we've been so successful, both business and financially, for now, again, 91 months in a row of $100,000 net profit or more every month. I mean, that is unbelievably financially successful, especially when you consider, and this is something that we talk about in detail, our net profits percentage to gross revenue is typically 80% and above. So we are literally making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month and keeping hundreds of thousands of dollars a month net profits. And one of the reasons why when I stepped back and I looked at that chapter, I was blown away again, because I was like, I knew that our content production plan was good. It was really good. And I knew that it was a reason for our success, both with the podcast and with our business and with our brand and with our financial, capabilities. But now I know it. Man, this chapter really even showed me the power of content, why content is your entire kingdom. And again, I knew this, but I needed almost to write this chapter to see just how clearly it is. And our content production plan, Shane, is fantastic. It used to be terrible. It used to be horrendous, like everybody.
They all are.
And then we took a decade of intentional work on this thing, bro. And we turned it into what it is today. And if you're watching or hearing Shane and myself right now, I promise you, and don't take this the wrong way, Shane was a football coach. He can be blunt when he needs to, which is what I love about him. I was an officer in the Army for 8 years. I can tell it like it is too. Your content production plan is likely terrible. Very likely it's terrible, especially when you compare it to mine. That needs to stop. that needs to end, and it can end, because I give you every step of how to create and design your fantastic content production plan in this book, in this guide. It's everything for you. The excuses are gone. You now have the exact tool you need, the exact guidance and roadmap you need to create a fantastic content production plan. And again, it is the reason why we have turned Entrepreneurs on Fire into a prolific business and brand and revenue generating machine. So, brother, I love that you picked that one out.
Dude, what's funny you say that. I was just thinking, it's like a, it's like a fire. It's the heat, it's the energy for your business, but also it's the thing, if you don't get organized with and you don't have a good plan for it, it's actually probably one of the things I see that burns most entrepreneurs out after they start, because they have a terrible content plan. They're doing too much, they're making too much, they're not batching, they're doing all these crazy things that we know and did in the past, right? And that's really the thing that can burn you out. But if you're organized with it, you're good. Like we just had we do the 12-week year Brian Moran stuff. So like we're getting ready to have our team meeting for the next quarter. Me and Jocelyn had our meeting Monday morning, got coffee and tea, and said, okay, let's lay this thing out. The first thing we put on the paper was our content. Like that was it. And all of our tactics and strategies were completely revolving around content, because that's how you get customers. That's how you keep customers. And that's how you grow the business, or that's how you burn yourself into oblivion and fail. So you've got to have some kind of plan, or it's not even going to work. You know what I mean? Hey, tell me a little bit about the book launch. I know we're running out of time because John's got 47 other podcasts he's got to record today. And, I'm gonna go walk my dog and pick up my kids from the bus stop. That's what I'm gonna do. but he's a busy man right now. He's in a sprint. But dude, tell me about the book launch. Tell me what's going on with that. When's it coming out? And tell everybody how they can get a copy of it.
So March 23rd is the magical date. That's The Common Path to Uncommon Success is available in all bookstores, Amazon, and the such, of course. And I do not want you to wait until March 23rd to pick this book up, because we have 5 insane bonuses. And I mean insane, Shane. Like, these bonuses are insanely awesome. So if you head over to uncommonsuccessbook.com, you'll see our endorsements for the book from Seth Godin, Gary Vaynerchuk, Neil Patel, Erica Mandy, Dory Clark. You'll see the first chapter there, which you can read, which is, you can see if you like the writing style, the table of contents that Shane's referred to a few times. You can check it out there and see the 17-step format. There's a video of me jumping in the pool and then drying myself off and telling you more about the book. And then there's the 5 insane bonuses listed out. And just a little quick visual sneak peek. Oops, upside down. You might be surprised at what some of the goodies and giveaways are for just pre-ordering a single book. And there's 5 insane bonuses. Again, uncommonsuccessbook.com. Brother, this book may be the last book I write. And it's the first traditionally published book, and it may be the last.
Love it, dude. I gotta tell you something, but you can't let this out, okay? Even though thousands of people are gonna hear this, because it's between me and you, right? Like I told Jocelyn, I was talking to you on the book on email or something like that, and I was like, dude, get on here, let me tell you about it. And I ordered, I got my pre-order, but then I was like, I'm gonna get a bulk order, and it's the first bulk order I've ever ordered.
What?
Yeah, dude, I didn't even listen to this. There's a caveat here. I didn't even bulk order Pat Flynn's Pat Flynn's book when he ordered it, and I'm in it. I'm like chapter 5. Me and Jocelyn are like in it, but he didn't tell me I was in it until it launched, though. Okay. So that's what happened there. But like, yeah, it is, man. We got a bulk order. I'm gonna give it to a group of people awesome. In the community in a program.
I appreciate it.
And dude, I just want to tell you, man, we support you. I love this book. You've done a great job with it, and I can't wait to tell everybody about it. And dude, I appreciate you for being on the podcast today, man.
Back at you, brother. You guys are doing it right. You always have. You always will. Much love.
All right, guys, that wraps up my interview with John Lee Dumas of Entrepreneur on Fire, all about his new book, The Common Path to Uncommon Success. Jocelyn and I have known John and Kate for a long, long time. They are the real deal when it comes to running a business, to systemizing a business, and creating teams that can give you the freedom to enjoy your life and build the exact dream you want to build. So make sure as soon as it comes out later this month that you're going to get that book, The Common Path to Uncommon Success by John Lee Dumas. It's a great complement to everything that we do inside the Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint. The Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint will tell you exactly how to identify the problems you solve, discover your niche, create your avatar, record your product, and launch a membership site of your own. John's book will give you the big picture, and then we will walk with you every step along the way to help you start, build, launch, and grow a successful membership website. We believe everybody has God-given talents and experiences they can use to serve others and start a successful membership business. All you need is 100 people to pay you $50 a month to make $60,000 a year, or 200 to make 120. It's all possible inside the Flipped Lifestyle community with the Flipped Lifestyle Blueprint. We offer a 30-day free trial in our community. All you have to do is go to flippedlifestyle.com/free. That's flippedlifestyle.com, FLIPPED, lifestyle.com/free to start your 30-day free trial today. And get this, at the end of the month, I'm going to take everybody in the Flipped Lifestyle community and I'm going to send a bunch of people John's book for free. So if you want to put your name in the drawing, all you have to do is go try that free trial out. Not only will you have a chance to win John's new book, but you'll also get everything you need to start, build, and grow a business of your own. All right, guys, we're about to wrap this up. Got a couple more things to do here. Got a great Bible verse that I want to share with you, but I also want to share a can't miss moment with you. These are moments that we may have not experienced if we had not started our own online business, if we had not become and stayed self-employed for all these years. I know moments like this would not have been possible back in our normal 9-to-5s. And I'm gonna go back in the time machine today, get a little nostalgia going for you. My can't miss moment today is actually going back to 2015 when I actually met John Lee Dumas. John and I were in the Philippines. He was speaking at an event that I was attending, and we got to hang out for a week. We got to sit on the beach and get to know each other. I can vividly remember me taking a nap over on this cushion, and Jocelyn and Kate and a friend of ours named Kat Jarman were sitting over on another Papazon-looking couch or something like that, and they were just hanging out and getting to know each other, having a good time. Got to hit the gym with John a couple times. We got to do a few workouts and just started building that relationship that we still have today. And the thing is, when you start building, growing an online business, when you become an entrepreneur, when you start setting goals and you start chasing these big dreams and you start putting yourself out there to make these big things happen, you start meeting those people that up your average. That can't miss moment, man. I couldn't have afforded to fly to the Philippines. I wouldn't have had the time to fly to the Philippines, and I'd have had no reason to connect with John Lee Dumas and all the amazing people that were at that event. And it's all made possible because of our online business. So I hope that encourages you, man. If you want more can't miss moments, whether it's flying to the Philippines to hang out with people or picking your kids up from the bus stop every single day, it's all possible through online business. All right, guys, we are about out of time today, but we love to close every episode of the Flipped Lifestyle podcast with a Bible verse. Jocelyn and I get a lot of our inspiration and motivation from the Bible, and we love to share the wisdom that we find inside the scriptures with you each week on the podcast. Today's Bible verse is a short one, but a good one. In the book of Psalm, chapter 20, verse 4, the Bible says, "May he grant your heart's desire and fulfill all your plans." I absolutely love that. That encourages us to have dreams. It instructs us to make plans. And then it reads like a prayer for God to help us see them through. So I hope you take that with you this week out into the world, whether you're reading John's book or you're inside the Flipped Lifestyle community. We're here to help you make those desires a reality. I'll be back with you again next time. Until then, get out there, take action, do whatever it takes to flip your life. See you then.
Bye.
Give you about 5 minutes here. You can go chill before you do something else.
I got 1 minute, man. It's top of the hour right now. I got to go.
Get it. Get her done. Oh, crap. I went over. My timer didn't work. All right. Have a great day, brother. Love you, man. Be good. Give Kate our love. One more thing before we go. Thank you so much for listening to the Flipped Lifestyle podcast. If you love the Flipped Lifestyle podcast, if we bring a little joy and a little happiness and we bring some knowledge into your life every single week, could you do us a favor? Go to Apple Podcast and hit subscribe. Download a few of the podcast episodes onto your phone. Apple's algorithm loves seeing downloads and it loves seeing those subscribes. And please leave us an honest review over on Apple Podcast. That'll help us grow the show, expand the mission, and reach more people so that we can help them change their family's future as well. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.